Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with my co-host, Janelle, to cover Martha's Vineyard Summer House. How are you doing today, Janelle? I did it!
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Happy to talk about this episode, this show. I'm in good spirits, good moods.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect. It's called Naked Ambition. So were you excited about what we're going to be getting into?
Yes, the nakedness was interesting this episode.
I'm very interested to hear your opinion because
Oh,
I don't think we'll have the same one, which will be
oh
fun.
gosh.
Which
We'll
will
see.
be fun. So we kind of get back to where they were at the dinner table with Jasmine, kind of expressing a little bit more as how she's feeling as a married woman. And it was kind of what I was alluding to, how I thought that she was feeling, that she still wants to be single with her friends, but she doesn't want to feel different. So that's why she wants to bring her friends into marriage life. And so what do you think about her dilemma and how she was kind of overcome by emotion?
I just cannot, I guess I don't relate in the sense that like my friends are still my friends. I called one of my best friends who's single and asked her, I was like, do you ever feel like you can't relate to me because I'm married and you're not? And pretty much the existence of our friendship, like when we met, I was engaged and then we got married. So she's known me as a married woman basically for 10 years. So she was like, no, not at all. I talk to you about my single problems. I talk to you about the guys that I talk to. And I do the same. If I'm arguing with Travis, I'll be like, oh, he said, I tell her about it or ask her advice. Am I wrong? So I don't relate to her in that way when she shares that she can't necessarily relate to her single. You're still you, Jasmine. The you that was there before you just committed to one person is still there. You can still go out and celebrate with them. So I don't relate to that so much.
I think, like, and I totally hear your perspective, 100%. Like, it doesn't fully make sense. Like, come on, like, I don't know, you're still you. I think maybe what a difference could be is that they got together over the pandemic, and so that's kind of like a new dynamic that like they had a whole relationship happen and grow that was completely absent of who she was before the pandemic, who she was before they got into a relationship. And so it was never like that she was going out with her friends and they were dating, and you'd get used to like the energy of her going out and partying and whatnot. And so I think it's because they started their relationship in just a very different kind of inorganic way. Where it's like, over the pandemic, we're kind of isolated, getting to know each other, but not getting to know each other socially.
Yes.
And I think that might be where the disconnect is, for the fact that he's just never seen her go out with her friends before.
Yeah.
Right? It might be a one-off situation, maybe going out for a dinner or this and that, but not seeing her as her single self, her dating self, her engaged self. Like, she hasn't gotten to warm up into this role of wife that it seems that Silas has a very specific idea of what wife means. And she hasn't really, in my opinion, got to warm up to it into this role.
Yeah, and I think by the time they were visiting the summer house, it had only been a couple of months, right? I feel like it was within 6 months of the marriage, and a lot of them seemed to not really know him that well because of the pandemic. So
exactly. I mean, if I were to like date somebody and then go back to normal and then like not know what normal actually is because I never dated this person before the pandemic, I probably would feel like I just didn't know what was going on,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm disconnected from my friends for sure, and not know who I am as a wife, and not know my place in the situation. Glenda's hanging out with us. Hi, Glenda. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Glenda.
Finally catching up with these episodes. That's a nice little fun catch up. Just like sitting down and binging a few episodes at a time. I would enjoy that for sure. So I don't really understand how Jasmine is feeling, but Bria has no sympathy for Jasmine.
Not an ounce.
I know in the beginning when we started covering this, we were a little bit more team Bria.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm team Bria anymore. I mean, obviously she's very entertaining. I think she should be on the show. She's definitely a star of the show for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think I like her that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm hot and cold. Sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I get your point. And then sometimes like, okay, this is dumb. Like this is ridiculous. This is extreme. It's more so leaning to we're having more of those extreme moments or those moments I find ridiculous, but
Hmm.
sometimes I can see where she's coming.
Well,
Sometimes.
I wish that she had a little bit of sympathy for Jasmine here, but
Yeah.
I think she probably has a little bit of annoyance with Jasmine for their interaction so far in some
Yes,
episodes. So,
definitely.
um, Jason, we learn, is long-winded. He needs to kind of punch out a story. Way to clear a room. He's so, not that he's boring, but like he really doesn't know how to tell a story that's engaging.
Oh, listen. I was thinking that when he was speaking, this is not nice, but there's something about his speaking voice that irks me. I do not know what it is. I would have a long time or a hard time listening to a long, and they tend to be long, Jason explanations because there's just something about the way that man speaks that gets
Yeah, what is it? I mean, A, he doesn't get to the
me.
point. I think maybe he sounds as though he's really intelligent in the way that he's saying something, but he doesn't ever get to the point. So you're just like, so it's kind of like, if you're gonna be smart, let's be quick.
Yes.
I don't
Where
know.
are we going with this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get to the point. Oh, Glenda says she really likes Bria.
I don't dislike her,
I,
but
she would wind me up a little bit. Like, I mean, I can handle most people. I'm just like
right.
watching it as a person on my screen. I think if I was in the house with her, I'd probably be able to handle her. You know what I mean? Like I'd
Yeah.
probably be someone that she would come to talk about and complain about all the things that are going on. But as a viewer, I'm just like, Bria,
Girl.
chill out.
Hmm.
So they end up going back to the house and okay, I thought it was really funny because like one of the whole reasons why Bria was upset with Jasmine and having sex with Silas all the time, and she doesn't have her man there. And as soon as she has her man there, she's like, "I'm too full, I'm too tired, I can't do anything."
I know. She couldn't care less at that moment. That was interesting.
Oh, but also isn't that the same time where? No, it wasn't the same time where they have sex again. But it was another time, right? Not I'm talking about Jasmine
Jasmine
and
and
Silas.
Silas.
When they go to the closet, that was later, right?
Yes, I think that's later in the episode.
So in the morning, there's a little bit more marriage talk with Jason and Silas. And this is another thing that I'm learning is that Silas has a very, very strict idea of what it means to be married, what it means to be a wife, how he feels his wife should act. And we're starting to learn this more and more. And so this controlling aspect of him, I think it just comes out of the fact that he has expectations for somebody that is going to represent him as his wife. How
Yeah,
are you
he
starting
was.
to feel about Silas at this point? I know we already had problems with him leading up to today.
Yeah, no. It's like he has a very traditional, which is fine, but a very traditional view of what a wife is. He later talks about like their routine and getting out of their routine. And I'm like, and I was on Team Preston all episode. He kept giving golden nuggets for me. But he was great. But it's like he's stuck in this traditional view, like he wants her to make breakfast. I was thinking, well, Silas, how about you get up and make breakfast, especially if you're going to be mad about how much she toasts the bread. Like
Yeah.
you can toast some bread then if hers is not acceptable. Like
Yeah, why is it not more of a collaboration? Instead, it's just
yes,
a critique on her abilities. Yeah,
yes, wake up
pretty
and you
annoying.
cook it. You
So
know, I'm not feeling it at all.
I'm sure he's going to get a lot of not necessarily hate mail, but comments that are not in favor of some of his actions and his demands, we'll say.
Absolutely.
So Jasmine goes and wakes up Jordan and just kind of like talking about their friendship and marriage and stuff like that a little bit. And Jasmine does say something that I thought was something that I was kind of noticing with the fact that she broke down a couple times with this whole marriage thing. She was like, I always try to do my best to check up on you guys and make sure you guys are okay. Like sometimes I need to be checked up on as well. And I thought that was a nice friendship moment between the two of them.
Yeah, it's a nice moment that she was willing to be vulnerable with Jordan and express like what was wrong and what was bothering her, and that's valid. You want to feel like your friends are just as invested in your well-being as you are theirs. So I like that moment between them, and I think it takes a lot of courage to actually speak up about it. At least for me, that's not always easy to be emotionally vulnerable and tell somebody like, I don't like the fact that you're not giving me what I'm giving you, or giving the friendship what I think I'm giving our friendship. So I like that moment. I hope it resolves some of the tension between those two.
I also thought it was funny when she feels as though Simon's a little bit like the Tinder swindler. Have you seen it?
No. Yes, that's that guy. I think, what is the story?
He's from, I believe, Israel. And
Mm-hmm.
he came to the States, and he basically pretends like he's really, really rich and affluent.
And
And
gets all that
then
money from those
he,
women. I did watch
yeah,
it.
like he dates like these women that fall in love with him, and then he pretends as though he gets like abused, or like he gets like kidnapped or something, and so they have to go and take out a whole bunch of money to pay like ransoms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and
Yes.
he's meeting these people through Tinder.
Yeah,
And so
I
it's
remember.
interesting that they that she feels that way about Simon. How are you feeling about Simon up until this point?
He's weird to
It's a long
me.
sigh.
He's strange to me. I don't know. I have zero feel of who he is as a person, what his personality is like. He likes to flash what he has, I feel like. He likes to let people know what he has. His accent gets on my nerves. That's another one. Like, oh, I don't want to listen to him talk. I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling on him just yet.
Maybe
I
later
need
on the
more.
episode you might.
Yeah.
But my girl Shanice is back. I'm
Ah,
so excited. And I was like, then I wrote down, like, oh Lord, Alex is still mad. What is he mad about?
I don't know. And it was very eye-opening to hear her share how she felt she was victimized by that ex. Like Alex read the story, took it for gospel, and ran with it and didn't even inquire about it. He just assumed it was true. So I'm like, see, Alex, you're reading stuff online, reading these blogs, couldn't even bring it to her. And she's sharing about the fact that a lot of it was unfair and untrue, and she was harassed for months. So I hope you watch that. It's a lesson learned not to just read something on the internet and run with it and treat people accordingly, because that's what he did. He assumed that she was all these negative things and doesn't want her in his personal space.
Mm-hmm.
I like how she's handling it. I like her approach to it. So, but I hope it's a lesson to Alex. Stop reading the blogs, or
Okay.
stop reading what people are sending to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true. It's like he's making all these assumptions about somebody that he doesn't know anything about, and then like treating them so poorly when you don't actually know the whole truth, and not even willing to ask or have a conversation. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why he cares that much. But
Right.
like, if they're not dating, there's no room for them to date. Like, can your friend not have made maybe a bad decision in their life without you having to give them the cold shoulder and treat them poorly?
Right.
Anyways, though, even if I take that out of the equation, like if you're that curious and you that much, it bothers you that much, wouldn't you think to ask about the situation so that you can
Mm-hmm.
get clarity before you completely judge somebody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
It's
he
weak.
definitely didn't hesitate on sharing that with other people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I didn't like that either. If you can go talk to the other house guests about
you can
how,
talk to Shanice.
yes, it's her.
So Glenda thinks that Jasmine was hating because why would you automatically think your friend is dating a scammer? I think it's the fact that he busted out all these very expensive watches
Mm-hmm.
to people that he doesn't know, that he's never met before. It's quite flashy and showing up in a flashy car. Like it's just a little bit flashy with somebody that you don't necessarily know.
Right.
I don't know if I'd immediately gravitate towards him being a scammer,
Me
but
neither.
it's just she doesn't know the guy, right?
Mhm.
So just being like,
And
so many watches.
and
I
I
don't know.
think,
Wouldn't you think something was like off if
yeah,
someone that you didn't meet shows up? First of all, has a problem with staying for only 3 days. He wants to stay a full week because he's making a long travel, but like go stay at another like an Airbnb. Who cares if you have all this money to
money.
be throwing away around? And then you're giving like $2,000 gifts to a couple. Like I don't know. It's just a little bit extravagant, and I'd just be curious about it. Sorry, go ahead.
And that's why I think that he likes to show what he has. That car, the gifts, those are not cheap things. And it's even more suspect. He's not married to Bria. Not even his wife. She could be gone in 2 weeks. And you've been giving all away all these watches to these people. Some she doesn't even know like that. You know what I mean? It's just flashy.
So yeah, so I understand like why would you think your friend was dating a scammer, but it would just an alarm would go off that there was something up.
Yeah.
And we don't know who this guy is still.
Yeah.
We still don't know. He seems okay, but I can understand just having my antennas going off.
Yeah.
Alarm bells.
Nobody's ever given me an $800 watch
that I just met.
Yeah.
Like, well, anyways, yeah. Have I? No. So apparently Shanice and Bria both did OnlyFans, which I thought was not surprising, but I thought it was interesting that we learned that Simon was not necessarily happy that Bria has done it.
Yeah, I was surprised by that one. I don't know why, but I didn't think that he would care based off of what I've seen so far. I wasn't surprised that they'd done it. They have one or had one. More power to you. If I could take pictures in a bikini and somebody wants to pay me money, come on.
What about feet pictures? Would you do it?
Yeah, even better. Less exposure. Even better.
I mean, I went down the rabbit hole one time on YouTube of people. They're like, I made $50,000 this week just selling pictures of my feet, and I was like,
I need to be like those people. I think I have nice feet.
I have actually pretty nice feet, but sometimes people are like they want them to be like dirty or like
a bunch of weirdos. I'm sorry, I don't want to shame, but that's fun.
I remember like one person was telling a story that like they'll send like requests on what they'd want in the foot picture. Like one time I was like, oh, can you please wrap your feet, dirty feet, in a tensor bandage, please? Or like, we want to see like your toe inside like the bathtub faucet, like just a very specific. They're like, oh, can I see sand on your feet? Like, I don't know.
I'd do it if somebody was paying me money. Like I will honor some feet requests. Yeah, hell yeah, I'd do it for 50.
I guess have you ever dived down Wiki Feet?
No.
So basically it's like any celebrities and it has like their feet pictures and then they rate all their celebrities' feet.
That's weird, but okay, whatever you like, I guess.
So Glenda is also saying this back to about Simon. He's a watch dealer, and also remember Bria told them that he would be spending money on them. I agree with him being flashy, though. I don't know if I knew that he was a watch dealer until later on in the episode. No, did we know this in advance? Or
maybe, but I do remember her talking about like he will spend money. She did say that at some point somewhere.
So I don't know. I'd be kind of like, why are you spending so much money on me? What's the deal?
But I do think it did him some favors with people, ingratiating himself. Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. Be like, yeah, let's let him in. He's generous. So our little dog Milo poops on the carpet downstairs, and now Silas wants to tell Preston to go tell Bria when Preston's just like, Silas, you got to walk by her. Just go tell her.
Exactly. Let's be adults here. Yes, let's be adults here. Just tell them. And they're all talking about it and going back and forth about it. Meanwhile, she didn't cleaned it up already. I know. Like, I don't even like I said, Preston was good in this episode with this and with the talk we'll have later. But I was like, come on, people, just go pick up the dog poop. Shoot.
Yeah, Alex is the one that ends up telling Bria to go pick up the dog poop, and it's all taken care of now by the time that like whoever mustered up the courage to tell Bria, she's like, it's already gone, it's done, I already did it. So the girls are doing some face masks, and we learned that Shanice had a date with somebody that was 6'9" and well endowed. And then this is where we learn a little bit more about the situation that Alex was misjudging her, in my opinion, on, where because she says that she doesn't vibe with Alex, and Summer, who is vibing with Alex, is like kind of like, why? And she's like, well, it was the worst 5 months of my life. I was being cyberbullied, and he's taking what he's reading on the internet and using it against me, basically, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
And I like that she was at least she explains things where I'm just like, yeah, Shanice, get them on your side. Like, I'm so on Shanice's side about everything she does.
Even later, I can't wait to get to later then. Yeah, I liked that conversation, and that's when I felt like, see, Alex, all that judgment, and you don't even know the true story. You don't know it from her perspective, how she feels, or even if what you're reading is true. You know what I mean?
And it kind of came across to me as a little bit misogynistic, right?
Yeah, yes,
Like, it's kind of
absolutely.
like, it's not the same situation at all,
Mhm.
but it's like when there's maybe a sexual assault of some sort that happens to a woman, or that a woman
Mhm.
experiences, and a man will say, well, where was she? What was she wearing?
How
And
short was
kind
her
of,
skirt? Yep.
exactly. And so it
Yeah.
feels kind of like he's blaming Shanice for being in this situation without knowing, automatically jumping to the conclusion that because she's a woman, she must be acting crazy and
Right.
acting out of pocket and doing all these things that her ex said that she did.
Yeah, he said she was a stalker. And
So he
that's
has to
why
believe
he
that.
like doesn't want her in his space. What are you, she gonna stalk you next? Come on. Like I just hope, like I said, that this is some sort of lesson to him. And I hope she has a deeper conversation. And I like that, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but I like that like she's willing still
She's
to
still
try to,
open.
yes.
Enough. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a girls' night and a boys' night. Simon is going to be going out with the boys, which is great. I'm happy that
Yeah.
they're still going to be including him. And it's not just going to be like only when there's couple activities, whatever. So he is going to be able to go to boys' night. Girls in the confessional saying titties on 3. So we have an idea that this might get to be a bit of a fun night if that's your
Yes.
pre-evening chant, or I don't know what you call it.
I have never
Promise?
heard a chant like that.
Titties?
No, titties on, like, what is that? I've never heard. I don't know. I don't even know what it means, but
I think it just means like girls on 3,
yeah.
like crazies on 3. Like, I don't know. I think it's just so a word. I
Yeah.
don't think it means anything
Interesting.
specific. Or maybe they used to say it in their past. Titties. Maybe you
They
used to
them.
flash people. And
Yes,
like,
that's what they show them. Like we see, they show them. So they're not shy.
not shy at all. On the girls' side of things, Bria wants Shanice to order the shots. So the shots are starting to flow. And like you, though, so you have more in common with Silas than you probably would like, but he is unable to understand Simon. So you and Silas are 2 peas in a pod in this regard. So this is where Silas is talking about he's still in routine because he's working, and Jasmine is on vacation mode, and he's not down with that. And that's where I had to roll my eyes so hard at this man.
Yes. Couldn't roll him hard enough. Like, be quiet, be quiet.
Stop working then.
She's
Relax.
on vacation.
Like, she's not your like house mother,
right?
Like, she's your wife, which is she's also a person
right.
that is on vacation, and she's not there just to be your provider.
Yeah, let me make sure that, because that's what really got me when he said that he had like basically been up and she's sleeping in and he's waiting for breakfast. How about you bring her breakfast? Like she doesn't have to wake up to make your food.
It's as if he's like, an elderly person. Like, for instance, like my granddad is like 96 and my mom's taking care of him. You know what I mean? Like, but he will still get up and do his own thing if she's not home or something like that. But like, my mom will get up and she'll make sure that he's eaten and taken care of in the morning or for all meals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's 96. Silas is probably like 50 years, 60 years younger than him.
Yes.
Like maybe even 65 years younger than this man. And he's still able to get up and make food for himself. And he's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
everything Silas said at this table got on my nerves. Every last word, movement, look, blink. Like, he was just on my nerves today, or this whole entire episode. Because, like, are you serious? And he complained about the toasty bread, and I was just like, Silas, she is not your maid. It's vacation. Yeah, and I like what Preston said to him, like, it's vacation. Don't you need to relax the routine a little bit? Maybe that's the problem. You're too stuck in a routine.
And I appreciate that they kind of show some, bounce backs or some like clips of him when he was younger and how it's like his
Yeah.
mom has instilled of him of like, going to this America and how it's a really amazing opportunity.
Mhm.
Totally understand that and respect that. But I don't know if your mom would be so happy with how you're treating your partner.
Yeah, his expectations, like I said, are very archaic.
Archaic is right. We learned Jason's type is ambition and communication. I find it
Communication,
interesting.
definitely. Yes.
Are they able to speak, you
Yeah.
think? Or are they just
Well,
good listeners?
yes, like good listeners. That's probably more. Let me stop. I can't make that assumption, but I can see that. I can see that he does a lot of the communicating and that other person is expected to be a good listener. I'm sorry, that's just a vibe that I have from him. I do appreciate that he is communicative because not I a lot of men that I know aren't exactly communicative about their feelings and how they feel and what they want. So I do appreciate that he's in touch with that side of him.
Mhm.
But that's about it so far.
Well, and also though, like I think it was in this conversation where he was a little bit annoyed that everybody's asking him about if like he likes someone or if he's like interested in someone, and like they're like, "Well, I just had a baby a few months ago. Like I'm not interested in like relationship or whatever." And like, and which is great. Like, it's
Yeah.
amazing that you're focusing on being a father or a parent. But I also think it's kind of wild that he's upset with people wanting to hook him up with somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can someone hook me up with somebody? I will not get upset with about it.
He made me chuckle when he's like, what did he say? Something along the lines of that's what got me in the situation that I'm in. So I'm trying to be careful and not get into it again. He said something along those lines of
Right. So that
yeah.
seems like maybe having more promiscuous encounters as
Yeah.
opposed to being in stable relationships. That's what it seems. But that's not necessarily what they were asking of him, to be like
Mm-hmm.
sleeping with everybody, but like, I don't know, being open
They're
to
just
going on
curious.
dates and
Yeah.
chatting and talking.
This is the vibe that they've given everybody, basically. Just inquiring, hey, you like anybody? You're interested in anybody?
Yeah.
So I don't know why he got his panties in a twist. But I didn't like some of Silas's responses to him. Talking about what did he say? Oh, it was something like that's the reason why he can't get women. What did he say to him? He said something along those
Oh,
lines. What was it?
Glenda, do you remember? I didn't write it down.
I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? He was
Yes.
like, that's the reason why you can't get none because of XYZ, but I cannot remember the point that he made. And I didn't like it. I
Well,
know that much.
because you don't like Mr.
Yeah, I
Silas
didn't
very
like it. I
much
didn't like
today.
Silas this whole, and I thought it was real funny he didn't have that ring on.
That is a real joke.
Yes, because the first time you go out with the boys, people are trying to buy y'all drinks, and you ain't got your wedding ring on. Let that have been Jasmine.
Well, and that's the thing too, that like I don't think it's that big of a deal, like that he's wearing his wedding ring or not wearing ring. Sometimes
Right.
people like some people don't want to lose it or whatever. Like maybe the guys, it's a little bit different because it's just a band usually, but with the women, sometimes it has expensive, jewels on it. So Glenda's with us, couldn't stand Silas's
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, doesn't remember. It might pop in my head, or maybe if I have my remote close, I can check. Um, and so I get it, but like the fact that he's like all these things about marriage and commitment and how
Yeah.
things look and how is it going to look if you do and if you and there's so many rules that are applied to Jasmine and on her conditions on how
Mm-hmm.
she could be a wife to him, and
Mm-hmm.
none of it applies to him.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like, yeah, and I agree with you. It's not a big deal if a married person doesn't have their ring on all the time, at least to me. I couldn't care less. But just for him specifically, I was like, oh, come. Because I just feel like if
Exactly.
she had went out with a bunch of girls and didn't
No,
wear her wedding ring, it would not go over well with
it'd be
him.
a
So,
problem.
exactly. So that's why I was like rolling my eyes again at that moment. Like, come on, Silas. And the guys felt the same. They're like, are you kidding me? You don't got your wedding ring? It's just what he puts out there. You know what I
And
mean?
the women sending him shots, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
consume them. And
Mm-hmm.
like I'm sure that the women were just like, oh, there's TV cameras, like
Yeah.
let's send some shots and they can be like, ooh, I'm on TV. But
Mm-hmm.
like you could see that it also is very easy for it to be kind of an innocent situation.
1000%. And I like that Amir told him about it.
Amir won some points this episode.
Yes, he
He's cute.
was. Yeah.
So we see the girls dancing and then
Mhm.
twerking and then handstand twerking. I'm like, Bria,
She
that's
killed
turned up a
that.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, go ahead, because it's not easy to do a handstand.
Yeah, and then she was kind of doing like a front flip and then ends up twerking. I'm like, Bria's pretty good at doing some gymnastics here. That's when the guys were getting some shots, and that's where the where's your wedding ring? He didn't really have a good. Did he even have an answer? What did he say?
He said he put it down and he forgot to get it back up or something like that. Something lame.
So back at the house. Okay, so when they're outside still, the girls, they're trying to take shots with them. They're lying on the ground,
Peeing in bushes.
Okay, that I do that often.
Hey, if you can squat and not pee all over yourself, more power to you.
I'm a professional peer. Okay. That is, you know what? I think that now I was thinking about it actually earlier on today when they were peeing, and I was like thinking of all the times that I've peed in places. I'm thinking that maybe I'm gonna put this on like my next application for a reality show because, like, you know, like
it's something interesting.
It's something interesting, something that people don't necessarily know about me, or all the people that are watching right now do. But like, I have no shame in my pee game. To be honest.
Yeah. I guess if I had no choice and there's coverage, I'll go for it. But I'd probably otherwise rather pee on myself.
Really? Really?
Yes. If there's like a bush I can hide behind, I
could always find somewhere to go. You know what I mean?
Yes. That would be ideal for me.
Oh, hi, Curly's red. I'm going to the beginning, but I wanted to say I love you guys that are covering this show. Hope we get a season 2. Yes, hope we do too. Thank you for helping us support the show. Much appreciated. So back at the house, we see Bria dragging Shanice across the floor. Shanice just is like a yes person. She's like fine with everything that Bria's doing. Yeah. And Bria talks about the Bria and Shanice show. And so it seems like they get drunk, they turn up, they have a good time. Yeah. And I love the Bria and Shanice show.
Yeah, I like the dynamic. It's super fun. They're super comfortable with each other. And they know each other really well. I like that with them too. I like them two together.
So the girls are in the hot tub, and then the boys return, and Simon gets in the hot tub. Simon's not that great of a dancer in the hot tub. I know he was a little tipsy, but like
not at all.
Like sometimes I just wonder how people can be so bad, such bad dancers. It's something that I just don't understand.
My favorite, absolute favorite bad dancer is Kylan. Have you seen it?
Kylan, Big Brother 23. Seen Kylan dance. Why is he so bad?
Oh, Chantele, you will be in tears. I will send you some clips after we're off. Hannah has it on her TikTok. Horrible.
Is this new?
No, ever since they got out the house, Big Brother 23, they've been doing TikToks. I've seen him dance a couple times. It's so bad. It is so bad. But the best part of it is he goes into it with all his heart, even though people laugh, even though it's hilarious. Chantele.
I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. But
look on her TikTok. They'd be super old though, but
no, I'm just looking to see if there's. Okay, maybe not. I thought I could find it quickly, but no, I'll look at it after.
It's so bad.
Oh, maybe this is it. Highland said he couldn't dance. Let's see if this is it. Oh my God. I think it's going to be it. Oh my God. It looks not good. Okay, let's see. Oh shit. Hold on. What's that? Okay, stop. Okay. Oh boy. I'm going to play it for everybody.
Good.
Oh, well, it might get, no, it's only be a couple seconds. But let's see if this is what you mean. Was it this one?
One of many. I don't know.
Okay. Let's just see. Let's see.
Hey, I'm not staying. I just want to.
Oh God!
The party, you just want to walk. Big boots in the bus, they talk.
I've seen worse.
Okay. Is there worse?
Yes.
Is there worse? Okay. I mean, it wasn't long, so it was probably not that painful. But he doesn't look like he has like a bend in his body. It's like bored back.
Chantele, once you see more of his dancing, but it's like it's so bad, it's endearing. Like put him front and center because it will just have you. Because he tries, it's just not there. Like it's one of the worst.
Do you
But
know
the best.
that's like one of all my deal maker breakers. It's like,
Dancing like
yeah,
a bad dancer.
Glenda.
That's your
It's one of my
Glenda.
deal
Have you
breakers.
seen it? It's bad. Like,
Well, not like I mean, I might be able to deal with no. They need to have rhythm, and they need to know how to dance. Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah.
it's like you're not gonna date him if he can't.
I'll
Like
start dating
what
him, but
if
when I learn that he
everything
can't
else?
dance, that's like
What if he checks so many other boxes?
I can't imagine. Like I feel like they all go hand in hand, right? If you're gonna be like fun, smart, like you
You
know a
have to
lot
be
of
able to.
things, I feel as though you'd also know how to move your body.
Hey, everybody has their
It's just well, I guess it's because I grew up as a dancer, right? So
yeah.
like I've always found it really fun going out and dancing, and so that would be something that I would like to experience with a partner. And
Yeah.
so if it was somebody that was like, "No, like I don't dance," I'm like, "Oh, that's not fun." I
I mean,
can
I
deal
get
maybe with somebody that doesn't dance that well,
that.
but
Okay.
doesn't dance.
No.
That's definitely a deal breaker.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought you were saying that if they were a bad dancer, you won't date them. It's not that
I'd be like kind of like, I love you. Let's work on this.
you
I
need
just
to make,
actually haven't really met anybody that wasn't a good dancer though. So.
oh, well, you need to make sure you meet them in a dancing environment because don't get to know them and then you find that little nugget
Well,
of
like
joy that they're not very good.
I'm literally going to do like a flash mob at my wedding that I dance in. Like I would get my dance troupe together and like would do a
Yeah.
full on dance show. I'm like,
Yeah.
you better know how to appreciate. And you better be doing at least know how to do the electric slide. Like,
Yeah. I guess
there's
it's
just
not
some
asking
must.
too much.
Just a must. Just at least like you can't just do this. Like that's not really asking for that much. Like
Oh, I hope
that's
you're
not that
back
a lot, you
again.
know? Like,
Yes.
I don't need him to be breakdancing and like doing some crazy stuff. I just need a little swagger.
Yeah.
It's kind of this part of the swagger that I like in someone that knows how to move. Okay, back to the hot tub. Shanice got naked, and she's naked in the hot tub, and she's naked jumping into the pool. But Berea is not okay with this.
Not at all.
She is furious at Shanice
Yes.
at this point because how dare Shanice be naked in front of her man?
Yep.
Now, apparently, Shanice asked Simon, and Simon said it was fine.
Yeah.
And so, who's at fault here? Is it Bria? Is it Simon? Or is it Shanice? Like,
I don't think it's Simon. Like, I don't think it's him. He was just
he
out
said yes.
there. Huh?
He said yes, though.
I don't care. I mean, when I looked at the situation, I didn't place any blame on him particularly. I mean, if he thought it was disrespectful of his girlfriend, he just could have got up and walked inside. At that point, I don't think. We'll keep going. I don't want to jump ahead.
Well, I mean, she said she asked Simon, and Bria is yelling for Simon to go upstairs and get out of the hot tub. And if she goes back out there, then he's going to be kicked out of the house. And
Yeah.
And what I think is really interesting about this is that it's the Berea and Shanice show. And so it seems as though this is type of antics that they would do together.
Yes.
And all of a sudden now it's a no-go with Simon.
Right.
And so is it because Simon seemingly is affluent and maybe in the past Shanice has not necessarily stolen boyfriends, but got some of the guys that, have a lot of money? Because I can't remember when it was said. But I think Bria said something like, "Oh, you want to suck his dick now that you know that he gave out the watches or something?" Somebody said something about Shanice might be more interested in Simon now that she knows that he might have a little bit of wealth.
Yes. So I thought when Shanice was like surprised that Bria was mad, she was expressing everything that they had done in their past, that they go skinny dipping all the time, that Bria's previous boyfriends have been present, then I was like, okay, so Bria, what are you mad at? Because this is Shanice being the same
Herself.
Shanice, yes, that she's always been with you and your boyfriends. So I
No,
don't
I think it
understand
might have
that.
been Shanice's boyfriends. So
Oh,
that could be
okay.
the difference.
Okay.
I think Shanice said like she's been naked in front of my boyfriends before.
Okay.
I think that's what she said because I was thinking the same thing, but then I think that I'd misheard.
Okay.
So, but I also just think that like I wouldn't get that mad about it. Like I might be like, okay, Shanice, like I get it, but like I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable you being naked around my boyfriend this time around. And
Right.
I'm sure she would be okay with that, you know?
Completely agree. Like once Shanice started talking, I was like, oh, Bria's I can't think of a word. What Bria's point went down significantly to me. I'm like, oh, okay, like why are you mad, Bria? But I agree. I don't know why she's so mad. And as opposed to being so mad to somebody that seems to be a great friend to you, just say something to her. She got
Just be
mad,
like,
stormed off, and hasn't spoken to her yet. All you have to do, Bria, is put on your big girl panties, go approach your friend and say, hey, I know we were drinking, we were having a great time, we were naked before they even got there. However, I would appreciate moving forward if my guy is around that we could keep clothes on. Like, that's it. That's all it takes.
exactly.
Not this whole tantrum, not boycotting lunch and all that nonsense. It's what it told me is, oh, this is because it's on TV. That's what it told me. But yeah, I wasn't on Team Bria at this moment.
And neither was I, unfortunately. Okay, so Glenda is saying here, Shanice is at fault, and Simon should have come in the house. Why would she ask a man she could get naked? Of course, he's gonna say yes. I mean, no, I definitely that's why I was saying that Simon is also a little bit at fault there for like saying yes. Like I think that he should know that is disrespectful for his girlfriend. You know what I mean? He should know that boundary, but maybe this is the first time that he's been out with her naked friend, you know? And so I think that Bria should have maybe put some parameters on her relationship if she knows that this is something that Shanice does. It doesn't seem like it's the first time that Shanice has gotten naked with somebody's boyfriend present.
Yeah.
So like I think that you should know that this is a possibility that's going to be with her and just be like, hey, like when Simon's around, like, I just don't think that we should get like, I don't want to get naked in front of him. Like, I think that that's our single life. But like when he's around, I don't want us to do that.
Yes. That's
I should probably be very okay with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you're saying. All it took was a conversation here. And I feel like the drama would have ended, but you know.
Glenn is like, oh, I didn't hear that. I wouldn't get naked around my friends. Man.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is though that it seems like they had a different type of relationship, and all of a sudden that Simon is out of bounds in this comfort zone with being naked and having a good time.
Yeah.
And so they need to have set some boundaries for this particular relationship that she's in, as opposed to just going on a tyrant and yelling and getting so upset about everything.
Temper tantrum
is right. So this is where Jasmine and Silas decide to have sex in a closet, still very loud according to the editors, because it always sounds like it's echoing throughout the house when they do these shots of like the empty house and then just like moaning happening.
And Amir going to sleep in another room even.
Yeah, it seems like he texted Shanice to go sleep in Shanice's room. Do you think that they had any little flirty?
Probably not.
They're probably too drunk. So the next morning, we learn. I mean, we could tell from Jasmine's side. Actually, we can see on the outside that Jordan, and Amir are just not on the same page. But Jordan they both really think that they're on the same page with what's going on between them, and they are completely off.
Yeah, they really, really are. I hope.
Why can't Amir read the situation? Because I don't know. She's not giving him anything.
Nothing. Not one single iota of a nothing. Did you see? He was even like rubbing her neck at one point. So he ain't getting the hint, Jordan. Like she thinks it's just friendly. He thinks he still got a shot, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess like taking it slow. I don't know. It's interesting when people just don't hear the signs. It's very clear, very obvious.
Some people need to just have it flat out. I'm not interested, and they ain't gonna.
No.
Yeah,
They don't want it.
people just need to know.
So Bria is talking to everybody, and including her mother, about Shanice getting
And
naked.
the mom didn't agree. Did you hear that? I was like, Bria,
What did she
listen to
say?
your mother. She was something like, well, honey, maybe she just didn't know. She said something that alluded to the fact that I'm sure Shanice didn't do it with ill intent type of, she's like, this is what y'all do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and also like I didn't find that she was like coming, like it wasn't a sexual thing.
no.
I definitely, I know I've told you like last week that like there's a lot of people that will get naked, but I remember even when I was younger that this would be a guy thing, but there's some guys that I'm like, oh, he's a naked drunk. He's a guy that he gets drunk and he gets naked. And so there's just a lot of things. I see the TikTok.
I was gonna find it.
But there's a lot of people that just feel better being naked when they drink, and Shanice seemingly is one of these people. It didn't seem sexy or sexual. It just seemed free and more so childlike than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So I wish she was also taking a look at that. Like it wasn't like she was trying to come. It's from my perspective anyways, to come off as like a temptress and trying to seduce Bria's man with her naked body. I thought that it was just kind of playful, having fun and being drunk and kind of stupid.
Completely agree. It was the same energy that they had right before the men showed up. Nothing, you know what I mean?
So Alex, Jordan, Amir, and Shanice are all going to go play tennis. I like learning that Shanice was a D1 basketball player. We did see her playing basketball in the kitchen at one point. I was like, oh, she looks like she's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then so we learned that she's, playing at a high level. Absolutely. And Jordan, also an athlete, also equestrian, doing a lot of quite fun athletics growing up, but she's never actually played tennis. How are you at tennis?
Never played. Not one time ever.
Ever?
Never. It's not a thing around here, really.
Like, I picked up a racket? No?
Nope. Maybe a ping pong table. Like ping pong. Not even maybe badminton when I was younger, but it's been a long time. I like watching tennis. I enjoyed the Williams sisters a lot.
Yeah, they're obviously really fun. They're like obviously like
have you played?
Athletes. I've taken like lessons like a couple times, a few lessons, but I didn't play, you know.
But I swear there's nothing everything. I'm like, have you ever I'm like, of course you have.
Well, because like my mom used to really like tennis, so we used to go and play, like that would be like I'd go outside activity on the weekend, you know what I mean? We'd go and play tennis. And then when I was living in Montreal, there was a girl that I worked with and she was a tennis instructor. And so she would just like organize like groups of us to go to her tennis league or whatever. And she'd give us group lessons on tennis. So it wasn't something that like I grew up and like was like a professional tennis player, but I had tennis in my life.
Yeah, cool.
But I am that person though. I really have tried a lot.
You have. I swear, everything like we talk about, you've dipped or dabbled or even know about in some capacity.
I know. It's
that's good though.
I think it's, I don't know, it's a fatal flaw or what, but yes, I've done a lot of things and had a lot of
I think it's good. When you get on your show, you're going to be able to relate to a lot of people. That's what it means.
Well, that's actually what I usually say in like my interviews is that I'm like, I'm a people person because I can relate on a gazillion different levels in a gazillion different languages. Like, yeah. So not a gazillion, but like 3. So we learned Bria's a Gemini, which is fun. Apparently, Alex is the one that points this out because they're saying that Gemini, that Bria was acting kind of two-faced, I think she said, or having two sides of herself, and that's similar to other Geminis like Trump, Kanye West, and Tupac. And I was like,
I was cracking up with those comparisons, and I wanted to ask you, do you find how she acts pretty spot on to a Gemini?
Yeah. Well, okay, I like Geminis. I get along with them quite well. They're an air sign, so they're usually like fast information, chatty, flirty. They're just buzz around. They love a lot of information. They're not usually they're usually more not necessarily want to be locked down in relationships. They're usually a little bit more flirty, and that's usually the vibe of like if you're just going to generalize a Gemini. And so, but they're also they can be a little bit hot tempered because like if you look at the other side, it's Sagittarius, but it's kind of like they're gonna be like a childlike hot tempered, like fast tongue, like yeah, she's very very much that.
On par.
And then when you kind of compare it, like Kanye obviously is an extreme version, I would say, of this,
Yes.
but they do have some similar kind of, kind of frenetic energy, right? It's fast moving energy ruled by Mercury. So it's all about the planet of communication. You're a Virgo, correct?
Cancer.
Oh, I thought you were an earth sign. Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind. I was going to say, because if you're a Virgo, Virgos, they're also ruled by Mercury, but like they usually don't appreciate or like, they just don't usually get along because they use the energy of Mercury in different ways.
Yeah.
When I realized she was a Gemini, I said, makes sense. I'm a Libra and I love Gemini. I'm saying, like, if I was in the house with her, I'm sure I'd really like her. But
Yeah.
I'm critiquing Miss Bria here. I'm sure that Shanice is also a sign that's either air or fire. That's my assumption too.
Now I got to know if you're right. You got to tell me it later.
I don't know if I've found all of their birthdays, but I will.
Okay.
But knowing that she's a Gemini does make me appreciate her a little bit more because she's just being herself. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's like some people are like, oh, you just like, signs so you can judge people. It's like, no, it's so I can understand them a little bit better and take away the judgment because I allow them to be who they are.
Yeah.
As opposed to me wanting them to be a certain way and them not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it allows me to give people more grace, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
So I think this is where we learn about Silas's past a little bit more, but can't he just allow Jason to pick up the damn table and move it through the door without instructions? You don't need IKEA instructions to move a table through a door.
Yeah, some people are going to find that condescending. You know what I mean? I don't think that's I don't think it's his intent, and I appreciated once he explained why he did it, but chill a little bit. Just chill a little bit.
Well, as a platoon leader.
I know. I was like, oh God, Silas. Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, come on, it's not rocket science. We can carry a table outside.
Like I would want to break the table just to piss him off. You know what I mean? Like he just makes me want to defy him. Like I want to be defiant.
You want to push his button. I want to get him going.
I would get him so riled up. He must be a sign that I don't get along with because like he would. Oh, I'd get him riled up. He'd get me going for sure. Okay, I'm like, okay, so now Silas has a problem with how Jasmine responded to the table incident.
Oh, that got on my nerves too. Because like, are you not a grown adult man? Can you not handle conflict on your own?
Oh my God, my wife didn't come and protect me for the fact that and be on my side as my support system with this table incident. As my wife, like, shut up.
Shut up. Yeah, like I said, this episode was not a good Silas episode. He's a big baby. Let me be nice.
And then baby. Silas, Jasmine's getting ready for their dinner outside, and he's, hopefully you don't wear those baggy pants and the button-up shirt because it doesn't look good when you're wearing it with flats. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, he can go.
Now I can't wear pants that I choose
or flats. Or did he say something like it's or did he want her to wear flats?
less attractive.
Yes.
Oh, hey! I'm going to be talking to you in an hour. Yes, Max is right.
Yeah, Silas ain't it. I pray that this episode gives him a lot of self-reflection on himself, his expectations of his wife, how archaic they are, how he needs to relax and understand what you do on a vacation.
Or what you actually do in a partnership.
Yeah. Like come on.
He's just like does not know how to be seemingly a friend, doesn't know how to be a partner, doesn't know how to be like a leader actually at all. Like he doesn't know how to be anything, and he demands so much.
Yeah,
so much.
I mean, I don't like to put this out there, But I would be surprised at a season 2 if they were still married. I'm just saying. I hope that they're successful. I love love. I love relationships. I love to see people happy.
But she's seeing probably sides of him that she's never seen before when they were still in their bubble, right?
Yeah, because I would just be surprised if we arrived at that destination.
I can see. We will be on Robinson Podcast talking about, we're going to be drafting the winners of Big Brother. So we're going to go through all the winners of all seasons, and we're going to do a draft so you guys can determine who has the best draft, who's going to pick the best winners of Big Brother. So we're doing that at 7 p.m.
I was just retweeting that. I cannot watch it live because I gotta go shoot this session, but as soon as I get back, I'm tuning in. I'm
sure we'll be talking about it for a long time.
I know, I can't wait. I'm like super, and I'm mad that I'm gonna have to hop in the middle because I like to be live and interact, but I cannot wait to see who gets who.
Well, I guess you could maybe speed it up and catch up. It's kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
If we go for super long. Okay, the last few things that happened this episode, we see Alex saying Jordan looking thick. I was like, man, this man has no tact. That's so, like, whether you think it's a compliment or not, it just doesn't sound good. Like,
it doesn't at all. And everybody's not going to take that the right way. Just keep your lips shut. Don't comment on. Why don't you just tell her that she looks nice?
Yeah.
You look nice today, Jordan.
Yeah. Like,
that's all it took right there.
Wait. I have that video saved on it. Okay, yeah, it will be live, but yeah, put a little little reminder on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of rude, but then he's also now saying that Amir claimed her, et cetera, and I'm like, he was just kind of having a guy's chat kind of thing, like, oh, she's my girl. Like, any guy can do whatever they want at this point.
Right? He can't stop anybody.
Exactly. And so the fact that like Alex is kind of pretending like, oh, because Amir claimed her, he wasn't going to talk to her or make a move on her or whatever. And I'm like, no, Alex, you just have no game.
Yeah, none.
Like that competition should have like propelled you into wanting to talk to her and be like, you have got nothing on me. I got her or whatever. Like for some healthy, friendly competition. But like
see, I think that something like that would have made the show very interesting.
If there was some competition over a girl?
Yeah. But I think it's messy if you're competing with a girl with a friend. That's a little messy.
They're not friends though.
They're not? This he didn't come in that? Or I thought you're right. It's Nick and Alex. Not Alex.
Nick and Alex, that could be messy and different, but yeah, Amir doesn't know anybody.
Okay, that's right. You're right. Okay. Then go ahead.
So Shanice is still, poking fun at the situation, and she comes out of her room topless while everybody else is sitting on the table. She has a bottle of wine in her hand, and she's just trying to push people's buttons.
Yes.
How do you think this went over?
Oh, now see, I was with her earlier in the night or the day before with that whole dynamic and everything that was going on, but this one, no. Just, I could see if it was an entire single table, 1000%. But if there are people there with their partners and you're coming out topless, I don't think that that's respectful.
I agree. I don't think it's respectful, but like, I also think like,
it's funny.
Guys, just fucking relax. Like, it's just like, it's not that serious. It's a couple of small tits. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, I get it. People might be like, but like, I just don't think it's that obscene or that vulgar or that disrespectful. Like, I get it. People are in relationships. Maybe they don't want to see your tits. But I also don't think it's that horrifying. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not that horrifying. I thought of it if I were in a situation and I was with my husband and one of my friends came out. I'm like, what the hell? I'll be like, and granted, I told you, I'm like,
I'd laugh though. I'd probably be like, look at she's being such a bitch. Whatever. Like, you know what I mean? She's doing it to be bitchy and just be kind of like poking fun at the situation and like.
I think so too. But it ain't gonna go over well. I can see that Jasmine is annoyed at the very least. I'm glad that Bria wasn't out there because good Lord, but
Jazz is going to be annoyed though because Silas is going to be annoyed and then she's going to have to deal with Silas and be like, is that what you
yes,
do when I'm not around? Like,
yes.
ugh.
So yeah, I mean, on this one, I can understand people's annoyance more
Yes.
than the previous one.
She's just
But
being a brat.
yes, but that's about it. It could stop there. Like, just talk to the woman and then all should be well and good, but I don't think it's gonna go like that.
I don't know. It's just kind of like if someone tells a person like her not to do something, she's just going to want to do it, you know?
Mhm.
So, and also she's on a TV show. And so she's trying to make some drama. So
Yeah,
she may not have acted the same. Everybody may not have acted the same way if it was in their regular day and life, you know?
completely agree. They're putting on a little bit.
So I don't know if it was from scenes for the next episode or not, but I think it was scenes for the next episode that your guy Silas is mad at Miss Jasmine for how she ironed his pants.
He is not my guy. And yeah, he's just digging that hole deeper. Like, I am not Team Silas. Like, at the beginning, I was trying to, but I feel like there's very little chance for redemption of me appreciating his character so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more so interested in the previews with Jordan where she's crying and emotional because of how people are speaking about her as if she's somebody's property or somebody claimed her. You cannot claim any woman. So I'm very, very interested in how
Yeah,
this
it looks like it's going to
unfolds.
be a good episode next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there anything else about this episode that you'd like to chat about?
No, I think that's good.
Got it all?
No, I'm good.
Great. Well, is there anything that you have going on that you want people to come and hang out with you or follow you at or all the above?
Nope, I'm just Janelle Michaud on literally every platform. Only thing I'm covering right now is This With You. And that's it. I'm just awaiting my Big Brother challenge. Everything's like for the summer is pushed back, so I don't have much going on.
All good. Just get to prepare.
Yep.
Get ready for it. Well, thanks everybody for joining us here live in the chat. You guys are the best. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like this video and let us know. Are you Team Shanice? Or like, are you Team Titties? Yeah, they chatted. Didn't they say titties on three? Like, come on. And now you're upset about titties?
Good point, Chantele. Good point.
So let us know if you're Team Titties or Team Bria on the phone.
Thank you, Glenda.
Bye, everybody. We'll see
Bye,
you
everybody.
next week. Ciao.